The reports of 42 person were on you. I never want try lose you, try them up on me. Well,
stop playing with people's emotions. Stop toying with people's emotions. Stop taking people's kind gestures for granted. Some people are keeping records, and it will only take a while before your black book is filled. I am in no way justifying what Lawrence did to his girlfriend, but be warned. And then again, do not let your anger take the better part of you. Learn to suppress and control yourself. Normalize letting go of people who do not want you. Learn how to say goodbye. Do not let your life depend on another person. To an extent, you prefer to unalive yourself, or you both because somebody's leaving you. Why? Don't you value yourself? Don't you know that somebody leaving you could be the greatest blessing here on earth? So for those of you who don't know, this man called Lawrence unalived his girlfriend. Why? Because she threatened to leave him. Was he pained because he spent so much money on her and now she was going to get a fund from her accident? And so if she leaves him, means he's getting nothing. Or could it be that the love he has for her is so much such that he doesn't love himself enough? And to think that this is the same girlfriend who allegedly cheated on him, that should have been a blessing. But then again, what do I know?
Sibusiso is a clear example of when couples are in a toxic relationship. You must exit immediately. This manskap invested in this girl's life, money, time. She cheated, she had a kid. He thought it was his, invested money, time, finances for the kid. Find out the kid is not his. They broke up. She came back, fought for him. He was in another relationship. She sent videos of her and him together again while he was in a new relationship. And that girl left him, so he was then alone. Then the moment she was up, she fell on money. This is now the same girl who had a kid that was not his, which she thought it was his. But they were kind of seeing each other gay now, because obviously that relationship was done, the new one. So now he's stuck with her, a kid that doesn't belong to him, but he loves her. Took her back. She was about to get some ref money. She got her ref money. All of a sudden, she didn't want a man anymore. His brain locked. And this is the result we get. Years of being in a toxic relationship. Gentlemen, let me tell you, it's not worth it. Ladies, it's not worth it. My mom told me, if a woman does, whatever a woman does to you, and you feel that anger coming on, walk away. Find yourself towards yourself. Come back, talk it out like adults. And that's it. Now we are here. And now there's a kid running somewhere there in Amzumtonti that don't have a mother. Why? Because two people felt that they just cannot accept the acceptance. Come on now, people. In South Africa, we have all these GBV violence and so on and so on and so on. Men, you need to learn that there is consequences in life. This man escaped consequences, but to what avail? Come on, guys, man. No matter what a woman does to you, and if a woman cheats, walk away because he never respected you. If a man cheats, walk away. That man never respected you. He is 200% wrong here. Don't find yourself in that position, manskapper. Be clever, be wise. It's very hard to find good women out here. Everybody plays games. It's very hard to find good men out here because everybody plays games. But you should never do this, what this idiot did, Sibusiso. What the hell were you thinking, brother? Stupid.
Have you guys seen this video?
Show. It's a show.
Now that video, which was recorded 15 hours ago, is that of Sibusiso Lawrence, a South African man who recorded himself after unaliving his wife, posting her body on Facebook and drinking her blood allegedly. Well, he was arrested on the border of Eswatini and South Africa. Eswatini is formerly Swaziland. He was allegedly trying to sneak into Swaziland and is currently in custody. But man, nini naweza kufanya kitu kama hiyo?
Ngicela nje ningisize kakhulu nje ningisize Because I'm feeling kuzaba wara nento yena lena ukuthina nigijime nokhola isidumbu afinje mina ingicika ngoba sokushona uNontobeko amasanithi gender based violence, gender based violence, gender based violence, gender based violence, Joseph Nontobeko, Joseph Nontobeko. What about to Lawrence? No, Lawrence and Alimishano ban. Who's gonna say justice for Lawrence? Because Lawrence and he was a victim. Lawrence was a victim. Oqala uNontobeko bayahlukumeza Lawrence. Okwabuthu uNontobeko wakutshela uLokhuzana uLawrence ukuthi umntana ke bana kusumntana akhe. So now all those years benifuna ukuthi la Lawrence ayenzeke. Mara sometimes nasimele sivumele zamantombazana ukuthi no kahlahlasela sabahlukumeza abafana and kahle nathi sayilethe gender based violence sikithi zamantombazana. Ave nathi sikhohlayele sometimes zamantombazana and nesipiti senu ukuthi nigijime no supporta isidumbu ukudlula uLawrence. Mele sibe equal. Mele kube yi-50-50 tuthoke siyavuma uLawrence naye wrong naye uNontobeko beka wrong futhi.
You know, I think a lot of us talk so much about the perpetrator that we actually forgot that it is more about the victim than it is about the perpetrator. Ladies and gentlemen, her name is Ntobeko Cele, and she is unfortunately one of many women in South Africa who died at the hands of a man. May her soul rest in peace.
Did y'all see that video of that guy who killed his girlfriend? I think his name is Sibusiso. And then he had the nerve to record a video of himself and he took pictures of her unalived. Like, who does that? Some people are sick. Some people are crazy. A normal human being would never do that. That guy needs help. And you get people on the internet, some of them applauding him. They are happy that he did what he did. That's crazy. That's not normal. How do you feel taking another human being's life? How do you feel? Because you are not God. Only God can take another human being's life. Who are you to do that? Who sent you? I'm so upset. Like, after I saw that, I was like, damn, this guy is so evil. Pure evil.
Personally, I didn't want to talk about the whole Sibusiso Lawrence thing because I was just like, you know, I don't want to talk about it, let it die down. The pun is not intended. But tell me, I'm on Facebook and I see statuses from men I used to go to school with talking about personally, I understand, rest in peace, bruh. Which part do you guys understand? Because I'm failing to comprehend it. And I'm not the one who couldn't even understand Metlit. All of a sudden, I seem to be the slower one. Cheated.
By now, you've heard the story of Sibusiso Lawrence Ndaka, who brutally murdered his partner and later on took his own life. The scourge of gender-based violence has reached pandemic proportions in South Africa. As a life coach, I would argue that one of the main reasons for the increase of this scourge is due to the rise in fatherless homes in this country. How the lack of a father figure tends to manifest in a relationship is that a man doesn't know how to treat his partner with respect and dignity. So men, I'm talking to you now, especially those that are in a relationship. The boy child needs you.
Dearest South Africans, her name was Nontobeko Cele. Nontobeko Cele. I am referring to the lady who's been trending on social media as Sibusiso Lawrence's girlfriend. She was more than that, and she had a name, Nontobeko Cele. So please start referring to her as such. She was more than somebody's girlfriend. She wasn't an object that belonged to anybody, and she didn't owe anyone her life. So please start referring to her as Nontobeko Cele. And while you are busy correcting yourself in that regard, could you stop trying to paint this guy as a victim? As South Africans, you have this tendency of placing perpetrators under the umbrella of being victims. Always trying to find a reason why they did what they did. Always placing the blame on the victims when in actual fact, in this regard, the real victim here is Nontobeko, her family and her children. So stop trying to justify what Sibusiso did. No amount of reasoning will justify what happened. Please be sensitive.
Condolences to the Kele family and to the Lawrence family. Gender-based violence and femicide in our country, South Africa, is on an extreme and ultimate high. Condolences yet again to the Kele family and the Lawrence family. We have seen on social media, we have seen on the news, we have seen on print media, the videos going around about Mr. Lawrence, who spoke of the reasons why he decided to appoint himself as God over the life of Miss Kele. Why am I saying this? He decided to unalive her for their own personal disputes. I'm not going to delve into the reasons that he put forward for unaliving her, because there is absolutely nothing under the face of the sun that should justify and condone gender-based violence and femicide. Remember, femicide speaks to the killing of women and children. Absolutely nothing must justify it. Whether he felt somehow, whatever the reason is, I'm not going to feed that monster. At the end of the day, we also need to remember that Mr. Lawrence was not sent by his family to go and unalive Miss Kele. So condolences to the Lawrence family, because we have subsequently found that Mr. Lawrence has now also unalived himself. So we are sitting with a family whose son is a perpetrator who took the life of Miss Kele, but they also have lost a son because he also unalived himself. We will not turn a blind eye to the fact that two families are grieving. Two families are in pain. I stand here to say, pleading, Uguti, makusetshenziswane, let's work together. We plead for non-violence. Both families are hurt. This is not a time for families to point fingers at each other to say, but your son did this, your daughter did this. No, both families have lost. Condolences to the Kele family. Condolences to the Lawrence family. To those who are hearing the sound of my voice and are watching me right now, if you are in a relationship that no longer serves you, mtaka Teddy, pack your bags and leave. Hamba ngeenyawo zombili. It's better you go back home alive than go back home unalive. Yes, many will argue that Kele was staying at home, he fetched her and then he unalived her. Mtaka Teddy, this is but a case that is so painful, because as we read, Miss Kele was accompanied by another female person and their child. When she was about to exit the car, he didn't allow her to, but allowed the other two to leave the car. Be alert at all times. Be alert at all times. If you are a perpetrator and you are being cruel to people by the things you say, the things you do, because remember, gender-based violence and femicide doesn't start when somebody has been unalived. It doesn't start when you've got bruises on your face. Seek help. Seek help. I want to urge social workers on the ground in KwaZulu-Natal, government on the ground, to go embrace both families. Both families have lost children. The perpetrator's family didn't send him to go and do what he did. The victim's family did not give him the permission to unalive their daughter. This is not a time to point fingers. This is a time for us to stand together as a nation.
Uyawazi ukuthi ngokomqondo amadoda amaningi alimele. Amadoda amaningi akhubazekile ngokomqondo. Makungathiwa indoda iyavula ikhanda, kuthathwe wonke amanotes asekhanda lendoda ayenze isyllabus, kube yisubject ebizwa ngegama ukuthiwa yindoda. Mancane amatisha angayifundisa, bancane abantwana abangayipasa, futhi bancane abantwana abangayifunda.
iningi labo lingabaleka angeke kube lo headmaster kuleso sikolo ngoba indoda imumethe into enkulu kakhulu.
What we witnessed, all of us on social media, what we're still seeing since it's still up, is a true testament on how we disregard the life and the livelihood of women in this country. And I think the mere fact that he needed to go out of his way to explain his side of the story just exposes that we're a country that's made perpetrators comfortable enough for us to know that, they will be supported, that they will be defended, like it's been shown so openly on social media that people are on his side. But I think it just exposes how we have a deep-rooted problem in this country, that there is something deeply wrong, with us, and that we really need to dive deeper into this pandemic called gender-based violence and femicide, to unpack all of the core roots of, this pandemic itself.
Themba, your thoughts?
Yeah, look, Iman, this is really saddening, and it's, his actions must be stated that it's evil, it's cowardly, and it's warranting unequivocal condemnation. What's even more disturbing, Iman, is a commentary by a lot of individuals on the comments on social media, where they are just showing, a real toxic mindset, justifying the violence of murder, suggesting that the alleged victim, deserved this because of her alleged infidelity or her behavior. There's some issues with regards to ref and monies that were, supposed to be paid out and so on. And it is really, really, really sickening just to see how, people are just continuing this misogynistic mindset as a manifestation, that is clearly saying that South Africa really has a big societal issue. And, where it's almost women are having to be held accountable for men's emotional responses and choices.
Relationship, I don't care how much you love your partner or how much do you trust your partner, but always keep it at the back of your mind. Uguti, someone can love you wholeheartedly and sleep today and wake up tomorrow and decide they no longer want to be with you and they don't love you anymore. So whenever you think about sacrificing anything at any point, whether you're a woman or man, just always have that at the back of your mind. If I wake up tomorrow and decide I no longer want to be with you, there's really nothing you can do about that. There's really, really nothing. Not even $1 million can change someone's mind who has already decided that they no longer want to be with you. So never forget yourself. Throw yourself to a man so much in such a way that you forget yourself. Don't sacrifice too much. Yes, keep things in balance, but don't sacrifice too much for a man or for a woman or for anyone. Just always make sure that you do what's best for you.
I think everyone out there has this empty void, because I think we all go through certain challenges. So it just depends on how do you deal with that. So other people, they deal with this empty void by drinking alcohol, using drugs, partying, and all those stuff. Unnecessary relationships, toxic relationships, just because you feel the space inside your heart or your soul. Leso sikhathi la sisuke sibekele uNkulunkulu, but lezi zinto esisebenzisayo ezifana notshwala ziyasididisa. Relationships, they make us feel happy, and they close that gap, that's empty space in our hearts for a very temporal time. You drink on Friday, the next morning the alcohol has worn off your bloodstream, and now you are sober. You need to drink again. But through God just fills the space for good. Masondela uNkulunkulu, there's no time la uphinda uqale khona. Labantu abasondayo bayibona ukuthi umuntu usengawa abakaze basondela uNkulunkulu. They thought they just loved the idea of